Day for the possibility of a few flurries in north and central Alabama. We're on your side with who could see minor, if any, impacts.
And as we come up on another busy travel weekend, tips from an Alabama state trooper that can help keep you safe throughout the winter.
Plus, today's Thursday, so you know what that means. The latest drought monitor is out. We tell you if the Christmas Day rain made any impact.
WBRC Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. I'm joined with Tania Michelle, meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Tania, can you believe we only have a few more days left of 2023?
No, it does not feel real. I'm like 2024.
I know. Are you ready? Have you made your resolutions yet?
I have an idea.
Okay.
But they're not set in stone. You?
No, but I did get a new planner that I'm going to write down all my ideas.
I got a new planner too.
You did? Oh, we are getting organized. We are ready for the new year, new me. But I think 2023 has been pretty good for both of us, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I can't complain at all.
2024, you got to step up your game. This one's going to be tough to beat.
Yes, tough shoes to fill.
Yes, I'm sure some of y'all are like, bring it on, because 2023 hasn't been all that. But the question is, could we end out the year with the possibility of some flurries? Not out of the question. So let's take a look at that forecast right now. Our next big thing is going to be that possibility for a few flurries here over the next 24, 36 hours. And you'll notice where we've highlighted if there were to be any accumulations. It would be in far north Alabama, areas to the northeast at those higher elevations. So that's why we've declared a first alert weather day for Friday. I'm not telling you it's going to be major impacts, but if we were to see something, these would be the areas that you could see a quarter of an inch or less of accumulation, likely on grassy, elevated surfaces. For the rest of us, that's not to say you couldn't see a few flurries, but temperatures at the surface are going to be warm enough to prevent anything in the way of accumulation. I'm not telling you it's not going to be cold outside, because it is, but you know, we have to reach that certain threshold, that freezing mark, to see that accumulating snow. So North Alabama, Northeast Alabama, that's where that best chance is, really beginning later tonight and then again through Friday evening before we dry out as we head into the New Year's weekend. So let's break down those weather headlines for you. Again, a few showers with a few little flurries mixed in, maybe a light snow shower to the north and east possible, and that's going to be starting tonight through Friday night. But the only spot that we could maybe see some accumulating snow would be well north of that I-20 corridor. But it's going to be staying cold into 2024. Even if we're not going to be waking up to a winter wonderland over the next couple of days, we're still going to have impacts. And this is the system that is going to be the nuisance maker here. That's our next big thing, this upper level area of low pressure that has already been bringing some snow to parts of the Midwest, going to be gradually pushing eastward. And as it digs that way, we see the possibility of a few showers, if not a little brief snow shower in the mix through Friday evening. So this is all because of this upper level low. It's a dip in the jet stream, and that allows really cold air to come down from Canada. And that is what helps to not only bring in that colder air, but if it has a little bit of moisture with it, you can get that potential for some flurries. So this is not a slam dunk for us by any means, but we're keeping an eye on things for you. Really, the big story here is just going to be cold through the new year. And as temperatures begin to drop, warming stations across our viewing area are opening their doors. People in Anniston can go to the bridge at Anniston First United Methodist Church this evening. It opened tonight at 5 and will close at 8 a.m. each morning through Monday. And today, the city of Birmingham and the Jimmy Hale Mission are opening a warming station. It opens its doors at 6 p.m. and will stay open nightly through January 2nd. Anyone needing to go out of the cold can go to the mission on 2nd Avenue North. There's also transportation to the shelter for those who need it. You can be picked up at Brother Brian Park, Faith Chapel Care Center, Lynn Park, and Boutwell Auditorium. We also have this information posted on the WBRC News app.
Thanks, Lauren. Very great information there. Like you mentioned, if you need more information on where those warming stations are at, head over to our website or the app for more of those details. But it's also important that as we could see the possibility of those snow showers, to be winter weather aware as you travel. And
you know, this is one of the busiest travel weeks of the year. You know, you got Christmas and New Year's holidays. Be patient with the other drivers out here. The last thing we want is any type of road rage incident out here on the roadways. If you do feel like you're getting frustrated, just pull over, take a break, take a breather, and just be sure to share the road with these other drivers out here.
That indeed, but also keep in mind these tips on our winter weather awareness checklist. Number one, communicate your route. Let a family member know where you're going, especially if you're going to be on those roadways at night and during weather that could cause little issues out there, like those flurries that we can expect, especially if we have any snow accumulation later on in this winter season. Make sure you have fully charged devices, pack an emergency kit, and also winterize those vehicles and make sure you have enough gas in case of an emergency. Also remember that you can stay tuned right here to WBRC and the First Alert Weather app for updates on tomorrow's First Alert Weather Day. And these safety tips also come as millions of Americans are facing travel troubles on the roads and at airports nationwide as they head home from the holidays. More than 90% of travelers will be on the road facing heavy rain, flooding, and dense fog, creating hazardous conditions in many parts of the country. Severe storms have been hitting the East Coast since Wednesday, making one of the worst days to drive even more dangerous. And more than 7,000 flights were delayed just yesterday, with more than hundreds of flights behind schedule this morning.
And on the flip side, these colder temperatures don't mean you have to stop your workout routine. Well, I don't know. Doctors with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center say staying physically active is even more important in the winter when we tend to see higher rates of anxiety and depression. Okay, can't confirm that. Both movement and time outdoors can help with those things. But if you're heading outside for an extended period of time, it's important to dress the part.
They'd be starting with like a synthetic base layer, a middle fleece, and an outer insulated jacket, or a combination of a puffy warmth coat and an outer shell. The shell helps protect against rain and wind, and the inner puffy part of the jacket helps keep the warmth in.
Another thing to keep in mind, you can still get sunburned in the winter, so make sure you're wearing sunscreen. I put mine on before I came into work today. In 30 seconds, we continue our chat about storm anxiety and children and the best ways to combat those fears.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. First Alert meteorologist Tania Michelle here. As we continue in our secondary severe storm season, it's always good to plan and be ready for your children who may be afraid of storms. Chief Meteorologist Wes White continues his conversation with Dr. Damarullo, and here's that interview right here.
So I read your article that was posted online, talking about the storm anxiety, and I know it kind of ranks from everything from hurricanes and tornadoes. You can have, those traumatic events that happen, but also, right. You hear it a lot, some kids at night when it starts thundering, just that aspect of weather, just a simple thunderstorm. I know sometimes that can be frightening to a child, but even at those early, I have a 2-year-old right now, so sometimes he'll start crying, when it starts thundering outside or there's a storm. But even at a young age like that, just some advice for parents out there, just kind of. I guess getting their children into the habit to where they actually sleep through the rain.
Well, that's really a great question because, I think one thing parents, I think most parents kind of intuitively understand is, our children learn how to cope and manage stressful events by how we cope and manage stressful events. So really the first thing for any parent to do to help their child learn how to manage their fear and anxiety about storms or really anything is managing your own fear and anxiety. Okay. So if mom and dad are freaking out because a storm's coming or there's lightning and thundering, that's what the child's going to see. And that's what they're going to do. Oh, that's normal. I'm supposed to freak out here, But if mom and dad are just like, hey, yeah, storm's coming. It's cool. It's going to be loud. That's really neat. Kind of sends a different message. So, the first thing is always manage your own emotions, and be very mindful about what your children are watching and seeing and what you want them to watch and see. So that would be number one. And the other is just be a good parent. If your 2-year-old is scared, you comfort them. You may not want to bring them to your bed because you may never get them out again. But go into the room and doing what good parents do. Patting and cooing and even the big kids, even the teenagers need a version of that sometimes, right?
Right.
Just say, well, hey, I'm here. It's okay. We're good. Um, but again, with those older kids, including older preschoolers, school age kids, teenagers, getting them involved. Again, you're teaching them how to cope. So one way is to have some mastery, right? So let's get a storm plan. This is what we're going to do if we have a thunderstorm. Here's where our supplies are. Help them collect out flashlights and candles and things like that. Get them involved at an age appropriate level, right? Teenagers can do more. They could do the research, for example. A 5-year-old that can go around with you gathering up all the stuff for the storm, and kind of make it, maybe fun's not the right word, but it's just, hey,
right.
This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to
Be
keep ourselves
prepared, not scared, as we say.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. That teaches, those are teaching coping skills, how to kind of take control of all that.
And when we return, we continue to talk more about the possibility of snow showers and what we can expect as we head into the new year.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. It's Thursday, so that means an update to our drought monitor. Meteorologist Matt Daniel and Mickey Ferguson join us now with the latest.
Oh, it's time. It's Thursday, and it's time to update the Drought Monitor. It's nice. We got to work on that presentation.
Yeah, we were singing it earlier.
Yes, we were. Hey, we're not quite as bad as we were.
Yeah.
Things have improved for us. We had a couple of inches of rain that fell recently, and that's made a big difference here, Matt.
That's right. The main difference, and we're still dealing with the drought. We're still going to have a deficit by the end of the year, but the severe drought is now showing up in Jefferson County. If you were looking at it last week, we were seeing that extreme drought in parts of the area. So here's a look at the breakdown from last week to now.
The red colors have shifted a little further to the east of Jefferson County. We still have some extreme drought in a couple of our areas up through parts of Talladega County, Shelby County represented there, St. Clair, even up towards Etowah County. And just a couple of counties there still dealing with that, but things are improving a little bit.
Yeah, so that extreme drought dropped by about 4% from 17 to 13%. That severe drought for the state was 48% last week, is now at 45%. And of course, when you leave people out of that extreme and severe, it actually bumps up that moderate drought to 69% because you got to go back to another category.
Sure,
that makes any sense. But
well, let's take a look at Birmingham's totals. We're pretty close to normal for the month of December in Birmingham, still a little shy in Tuscaloosa, and a little over halfway there for Anniston for the month of December. But as far as the year is concerned, we're still behind.
Yeah, a little over 7 inches for a yearly deficit. So we picked up
That's
almost,
Birmingham.
Yeah, this is for Birmingham. Almost 49 inches of rain has fallen for the year. And typically at this point, we should be at about 56 inches. But what about Tuscaloosa there?
Tuscaloosa's 5.5 inches behind compared to last year, or compared to normal averages, I should say. And then we have Anniston about 5.25 inches behind.
That's right. So, we have a small chance for a few showers. I don't think that's really going to put a dent into the drought conditions. But there could be some rain as we start the new year and going into next week. So I know it's a big travel period. Maybe you're visiting some friends or family for the new year. Just make sure you download the WBRC First Alert Weather app. Weather on the go and get your forecast through there.
Okay. And a Happy New Year to you.
Thanks, Matt and Mickey. And I wanted to show you some video coming in of snow, not in our area. This is not happening in our area. I just want to clarify that. This is happening up in Missouri, but it's from the same system. This was taken yesterday in Lexington, Missouri, sent in from viewer Diane Lawson. Beautiful views. Brave of her to be driving out in that. You know, some of us down here in the South, we ain't driving in that. But fortunately, we are expecting minimal impacts with this potential for some flurries mixed in over the next 48 hours. Here is the system that we are watching. That is that upper level disturbance that could be bringing the possibility of some showers. Right now, though, First Alert AccuTrack is high and dry. It certainly is chilly outside, though, under a mostly cloudy sky. And temperatures tomorrow really not going to rebound much. We're talking just the 40s at best. And there is that 10-20% chance of a stray shower or flurry, especially early in the morning and into the nighttime hours. As we look at the futurecast here, showing tonight there could be a couple of isolated showers or a stray flurry north and west of I-2059, possibly lingering through early tomorrow morning. And then as we get later into tomorrow afternoon, seeing that isolated chance for a shower or flurry, especially in northeast Alabama. And it's these areas in far northeast Alabama that we could see some brief accumulation. We're talking 1/4 of an inch or less on elevated grassy surfaces. So that First Alert weather day for the possibility of a few flurries for tomorrow. Minimal, if at any, impacts unless you live in North Alabama, then maybe some minor accumulations. And then we dry out going into New Year's Eve. There is that possibility of a few showers on New Year's Day, but the pattern looks active and colder as we get into the new year. And speaking of the new year, we of course are curious about that possibility for any type of snow in the new year or severe weather. We prefer one over the other, I think. We are now joined by meteorologist Tania Michelle. Tania, how's it looking?
It looks a little wet.
Ooh.
She said, ooh. Let's go beyond the 7-day, why don't we? Listen, beyond the 7-day, looks like we can see some showers starting with our entrance into the new year. But look at this, 6 to 10 days out from now, we're actually looking below average too. So could that wet weather be more flurries, more snow? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But definitely looking at below average temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days from now. So we really are going to start the new year on the colder side. Potential highs 6 to 10 days out out. This is December into January, early January. We'll see temperatures, matter of fact, just around average for some days, but a few days dipping just right below average. 58 by next Thursday, and next Friday 69 degrees. So maybe some days could be on the warmer side. But as far as our potential lows, notice this: Wednesday and Thursday next week, we're definitely below freezing. We'll have a little bit of warmer above average temperatures for majority of next week, but beyond that, we could definitely see temperatures below average. Looking at our wet weather over the next several days, some showers for the start of your new year. Next Monday looks like some showers will push through. That's January 1st. We can see some showers on Wednesday evening, some more wet weather pushing through the area. Looks like rain right now, and then some showers by next Friday. So just giving you a first alert for more wet weather in our forecast, which is great because we're still dealing with drought across the state. So that'll keep us on the wetter side and hopefully eliminate those drought conditions that we're seeing. And look here, our 6 to 10 day rainfall outlook: above average rainfall. Some areas across the U.S. seeing below average, but for us, we'll likely see more wet days ahead of us. So you know what that means. Hold on to that rain jacket and that umbrella. But let's take it around the world, where in Beijing, they've recorded its longest cold wave in modern history. Residents of the city are struggling to stay warm as power plants throughout the country are in overdrive trying to heat up their homes. CNN's Mark Stewart has the story.
China's been shivering through bitter and biting cold.
I think it's the coldest winter in the past 20 years.
For around 2 weeks, the Chinese capital has seen sub-zero temps, the longest cold snap here since records began in 1951.
The temperature is very, very low. I have to wear this kind of clothes to this weather.
By bike and by foot, it's a struggle to stay warm in this megacity. This is what's known as a hutong, a collection of small homes and narrow streets, very typical here in downtown Beijing. But many lack central heating, and that can be challenging and expensive when the temperatures take a plunge. This man showed us his home and how he keeps warm.
We use electric heating.
Even though the government helps to pay the bill, for some families it can still be a lot.
Frankly speaking, this is not as good as the high-rise, which has 24-hour central heating, but it's not too cold here right now either.
The Arctic chill has been felt far beyond Beijing. Across the country, coal-powered plants have been on full drive to warm up homes. Yet problems at a plant in central China force heating in one city to be temporarily cut. And in northwest China, the weather got in the way of rescue efforts after last week's deadly earthquake. Residents in the quake zone set bonfires to get warm. A burning stove and a bowl of warm noodles, enough to comfort these children. Back in Beijing, the forecast is for the cold wave to pass, making tasks in the city of more than 20 million people a bit more tolerable. Mark Stewart, CNN, Beijing.
Stay with us, though. We'll be right back with more First Alert Weather Extra.
Well, Tania, I know it's kind of gloomy and cloudy outside right
Gloomy?
now. Did I say gloomy? Well, you know what? That actually works.
It does.
Gloomy, cloudy.
Gloomy,
It's
cloudy.
a little gloomy, y'all.
We just made a new word. High five,
And you
sister.
know, and I
Bam.
was hoping she wouldn't catch that, but if there's one thing Tania's going to do, she's going to catch it. So check it out. We got a beautiful sunset view
Catch
of the
this.
Gulf Shore. Right, Tania, did you go there for your
Beautiful.
honeymoon? How were your
No.
honeymoon views compared to this one?
That sunset kind of got Puerto Rico beat. I'm not gonna lie.
But I'm sure if you'd stayed there for an extended period of time,
Yeah.
there probably would have been. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it already, Tania has been posting some beautiful photos from her wedding, the honeymoon, got all that good content as always.
You're next.
Yeah. It's true. But how about this view from Logan Martin Lake? That was the
love
sunset last night.
Oh,
no, isn't it so
That's
dreamy?
peaceful. Like I
It
could just
is.
sit there. Oh.
Right. That's where you need to go to Logan Martin Lake and make your New Year's resolutions, do a little yoga,
Yes.
meditation. And how about this from Chelsea?
Love it. Thanks,
Absolutely
Kiera.
gorgeous. Sending that in. We love all of these photos. Another beautiful fiery sunset sent in from Rebecca. And we just love all those sunset views. And remember, if you have any flurry photos, send those in too.
Yeah, we want to see that for sure.
And catch us back here at 9 o'clock with an update. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 6:30.
Have a great night.